Chapter 4 The Lady. Heather woke early, though she had not slept well. All night she dreamed of King Jupiter, tall and strong with golden armor gleaming in the sun. She had woken often, only to sleep again and continue the dream. Now she got out of bed and crept past Pickett, who was still asleep, and made her way down the winding stairs. Father had hollowed out the elm years ago and made this beautiful stairway. She loved the smooth feel of the railing and the beauty of the pale grain of the carved elm. Breakfast smells found her as she descended, making her smile even as she yawned. She heard shifting chairs and low conversation and paused a moment to listen. She heard an unfamiliar voice, female and ancient sounding, say in a hoarse whisper, "They are on the move now, it is certain. I risked much coming here, I know. I think he may decide this place is safe." Heather waited a moment. Then she heard her father speak. "He may well. He's one of the few who know we're here. Are you sure you weren't followed?" Father sounded worried, which worried Heather. "I usually am. He knows Morbin is seeking the green ember," she said. "Morbin has set his wolves on the hunt." Heather went on, rounding the last of the spiral steps to find her parents at the table with the stranger, whose back was to Heather. "Good morning, Heather," Mother said, changing her face from worried to welcoming in an instant. "Go back up and wake Pickett, dear. Then come and eat something. We have a guest we'd like you to meet." The unknown lady and father were hunched over some papers, some of which looked like maps. The guest was short and appeared to be much older than Mother. She wore the same sort of sweeping dresses Mother often favored, the kind almost no one in Nick Hollow wore. Hers was black, and she wore elegant long black gloves fringed with lace. She sat up straight. Her fur was gray, peppered with black. She turned her head slightly and raised it to peer, slit-eyed, at Heather. She nodded Heather's way and then returned to her papers. She resumed her conversation with Father in hushed, insistent tones. Father winked at Heather and gave her an encouraging smile before returning to attend to the maps and the mysterious lady. "Father's worried. What does that mean?" She returned the smile but did not mask her concern. She ran back up the stairs and crossed to Pickett's bed. "Wake up, Pickett," she whispered. He didn't move. "Wake up, Pickett," she whispered louder. Nothing. This time she got right next to his ear, which was sagging over the side of his bed. "Pickett, wake up!" she shouted. He spun out of his bed, knocking Heather back and rolling over on the floor twice before bouncing up. "I was already awake," he said, staggering. "Right," Heather said, laughing at him. "And I'm a woodpecker." "You're almost as irritating as one," Pickett said as he dug at his still sleepy eyes. "Let's go downstairs," she said. "There's a lady down there who seems, I don't know, kind of important. She's talking to Mother and Father about something serious." "I wonder what it is," Pickett said. "Let's go and try to find out." "They never tell us anything when stuff like this happens," Pickett said, stretching. Pickett was right. This sort of thing happened every few months, but lately more and more. A stranger had come last month. It had been happening a lot since little Jax was born 6 months before. "You're right, Pickett," Heather sighed. "They'll probably just send us for berries again." "At least there's a built-in snack to that job." "True," Heather agreed, smiling. "Hey, Pickett, did you dream of King Jupiter last night?" "I tried," Pickett said, shrugging, "but no such luck. You?" "Yeah," she said. "Amazing ones." "You always have great dreams." "I always have vivid dreams," she said. "Sometimes they're not the good kind." "I take it," he said. "I dreamed I was riding on a blind cardinal's back and he kept flying into things." That'll be the day, she thought. He's afraid to climb a tree, let alone go soaring in the sky. "That would be a funny story," she said. "Why don't you make one up about it?" he said. "Sure I will," she said, smirking. "Heather, you should," he said, stifling a yawn. You tell the best stories." "Better than Father?" "Well," he said, "maybe not quite the very best, but really awfully terribly good ones." "Terribly awful?" she asked, scowling. He laughed. "That's fair." "I would love to write down these King Jupiter stories," she said. "Hopefully we hear the rest today," Pickett said. "I hope so too, but we better get down there. We can ask Father later." They descended the spiral stairway to the bottom floor. Pickett had more to say. "I wish I could have dreamed about him," he said as the kitchen came into view. Pickett was looking up at Heather. "What a story! Do you think it's true, Heather? It must be, right? King Jupiter, Lord of the Great Wood. It must have been a long—" Pickett stopped short when he saw the guest who was standing beside Father at the foot of the stairs, looking at the two young rabbits. She was short but graceful, stern-looking, with serious eyes. She crossed slowly to where they stood and looked each of them in the eyes in turn. Heather felt like she wasn't looking at their clothes or the color of their fur, but inside them. The guest bent in front of Pickett. "Would you like to think there was such a king in this world as Jupiter Goodson?" she said, peering into Pickett's eyes. At first Heather feared he wouldn't answer. He didn't like to be put on the spot. But he did answer. "More than anything, lady," he said, bowing. Heather wasn't sure why, but it seemed the right thing to do. So when the lady looked at her, she curtsied, bowing her head. "What about you, young maiden?" the lady said, peering into Heather's eyes. "Do you long for such a king?" "With all my heart," she said, without hesitation. The lady turned to face Father and Mother, who stood arm in arm beside the table. She nodded to them. "You do well, my friends." "Thank you," they said together. "My dear young rabbits," the lady said, "King Jupiter is gone, but others take up his cause, and another fills his place.